channel. Happy New Year, guys, and I hope this year will bring us good things and that we'll grow more together this year. Please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel so that we can grow more this year. And thank you guys so much for your support in the previous year. So today I'm going to be starting with a top that someone sent me on Instagram. So it's like a peplum top with 2 steps, and you can wear something underneath it. You can also wear it just like that. So the first thing you're going to do is to take your fabric, fold it into 2, and then you're going to the width you have here. For me, I'm starting with the front panel. So the width I have here is basically my bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 3 inches, right? So the 3 inches is for all the seam allowances I'm going to be needing. So my bust measurement is 42, divided by 4 is 10.5, and then plus extra 3 inches, that's about 13.5. So the width I have here is 13.5, as you can see, right? 13.5, that's how I got my width. And then for my length, how I got my length is my shoulder measurement to my waist, right, plus extra 1 inch. So my shoulder measurement to waist is 17 plus 1 inch is 18. But now my shoulder is not going to, because normally my bodice, my shoulder will be somewhere here, right? My shoulder will be somewhere here if I'm marking a normal bodice. But I'm not marking a normal bodice because this is going to start half, almost like, it depends on you where you want yours to start. I want mine to start 7 inches down, so I have about half an inch here to join this to the lining. And then I want the top to start at 17 inches, which is my shoulder to waist, and then I have half an inch here to join the bottom part. So just basically you're going to check what you need, and then you add 1 inch to it. 1 inch is because you need half an inch to join the top part to lining, and half an inch at the bottom to join it to your bottom part of the peplum. So after that, now we are going to go ahead and, so guys, now that the fabric is like this, what you're going to measure first is your nipple to nipple measurement. So for me, that's 8 inches divided by 2 is going to be 4 plus 1 inch is 5. So I'm going to mark 5 inches distance all the way in a straight line like this and mark it down. So guys, my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 divided by 2 is 4 plus 1 inch. That's what I marked here. So I got 5 inches, and then I marked distance of 5 inches going in. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to put in all my measurements. So I'm going to go from the top here. Remember, my top is going to start at 7. So, but there's half an inch at the top part here, which is going to be my seam allowance here. And then I'm going to mark from my shoulder to my under bust, which shoulder to breast point first, which is at 12 inches, and then my shoulder to my under bust, which is 14.5, and then my shoulder to my waist, which is about 17.5, somewhere here. So this is all the marking that I need. Where I want my top to start, my shoulder to breast point, shoulder to under bust, and shoulder to my waist. And then the next thing you're going to do is at this point here, you're going to mark the next thing you're going to do is at this bottom line here, your waistline, you're going to go ahead and mark half an inch on each side, half an inch on each side. Like the center line is this 5 inches line that you mark straight. You're going to mark half an inch here, half an inch here. And then on this one, you're going to mark 0.75 here, 0.75 here. That's distance from this point here on this side and on this side. And then you're not going to mark anything on this one here. But at the top one here, you're going to mark 1 inch on each side. So you're going to mark 1 inch here, and then also 1 inch on this side. And now from here, you're going to connect this one here to this point, connect this point to this point here, and then connect this one down to this one. The same thing on this side. You're going to connect this 1 inch to this line here, your breast point, which you didn't subtract anything from. And then from here, you're going to connect it to your under bust, which you subtracted 0.75 on this side too. And then you're going to now connect it to your waist, where you subtracted about half an inch here. And then after that, the next thing we are going to do is you're going to also place your tape, and you're going to divide your waist measurement by 4. So my waist is 30. So guys, the waist I'm working with is 36. Divided by 4 is going to be 9 inches, right? And then that 9 inches, I'm going to also add 3 inches of seam allowance to it, just like I did when I folded the fabric and did my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 3. I'm doing my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 3. So I'm going to just mark mine here, and then from this point here, I'm just going to connect it all the way to the top part of this here. So connect it in a straight line like this here, down this way. And then now the next thing we are going to do is to go ahead and cut this out. Remember, this top part here, you're not going to be giving it like a V, because normally if it's like a sweetheart neckline, you will just come down maybe 2 inches on the neckline, and then now you have a sweetheart neckline. But this is not going to be a sweetheart neckline, it's just going to go all the way straight. But then coming to this armhole side, I'm going to, because this top here is going to start at 7, right? I need, my armhole is normally like 10 inches down if I'm going to like draw in my armhole at this point here. But for this here, I'm just going to come down like 2 inches down. So that's going to be somewhere here at 9. Instead of using 10, I came down to 9. And then on this point here, I'm just going to connect it all the way to the top like this. So you see, this is how I'm going to blend it in, because this is going to be my armhole side. This is this part here, and this is my middle part of the top. So guys, I've gone ahead and cut it out. You see, I cut out the side of the waist, took out this top part here, took out this part here. You see, trace it out this way, and then traced out this one. So now I have my bodice here, but try not to make this part here so pointy. So I'm still going to go back in and chip it off so that it will just curve in instead of being this pointy. So this is what I need here. So now using this here, I'm going to need this side to cut my back bodice, because my back bodice is going to be the length of the side. Remember, this is my side and this is the center. So I need this side part here to know the length of my back bodice. So guys, like I said before, my back bodice is also the same thing. My bust measurement divided the width here, because the fabric is into 2, right? My width here is just my bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 3 inches. So for me, I also have that same 13.5 again. So now I'm going to use this here to shape the waist here. So I'm going to use this here to cut out this part that is going to be the waist. If you want, you don't have to use this here to trace it. You can just calculate it again. Just come down to the waist part, divide your waist measurement by you can just place your tape over again, and then come down to your waist part, divide the waist by 4 inches by 4, and then you add extra 3 inches. It's also the same thing, but if you want, you can just place the fabric, your front panel, the side of it, and use it to chip off that excess from the waist. And then from that, now this part here, I'm going to mark where the side line is, which is here. So now this is going to be the length of my back bodice. I'm going to draw a straight line across the back. So this is going to be the back of my bodice here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So guys, this is my back bodice. So you see what it looks like, but I'm still going to give it a dart here. So it's supposed to have like a dart midway. So how I normally dart mine, I just fold it into 2 this way, and then I just give it a dart all the way from the top part here to the end, just like with half an inch of dart here. The same thing on the 2 parts of it, because it's going to be one on this side and then one on this side, and then it's going to have your zip allowance at the center part here, because the 3 inches you added is because you need 1 inch of seam allowance to join the side, 1 inch for the zip at the center, and then 1 inch for the darting at the center here. So that's the reason for the 3 inches you also add at the back. So this is my back panel here, and then this is my front panel. You see, this is the 2 sides of the front, and then this is the center front. I'm still going to curve this out, so try not to make yours pointy like this. So you see what mine looks like now at this point here. So this is what it looks like. So now what I'm going to do is to also cut out my peplum part. So trace this out on a lining first, and then you cut out your peplum part. So guys, this is my top. I've cut out the lining on each side. This is the center front, and then this is the other one. So all you have to do is to go ahead and join each of them. So you're going to join the front. So you're going to join the front together, the main bodice, and then you join the lining together, and then at the top part is where you join the two of them together. So I'm going to go and do my own now and bring it back. Go ahead and join mine. So basically you're going to join the center to the 2 sides of the front, and then after that you're going to do the same thing for the lining. So you see, I did the same thing on the lining, 2 sides, 1 center front, and then I joined it at the top part here. If you look closely, you'll see the stitch I joined it with at the top here, and then I also insert my strap, which is going to be the sleeve, right? So then I made a stitch inside and flipped it inside out. So you see at this top part here is where I joined it from, and then I did also the same thing for the back side. I joined it at the top part here, flipped it, and then gave it a dart. So you see there's also a dart here. Don't forget the dart part, to dart the back. So you see I dart it half an inch all the way down. So that's basically it right now. So this is what it looks like at the moment. So all I have to do now for the strap, mine at the moment, the length of my strap at the moment is like 16 inches or so. So when I wear it, I'll figure out if the 16 inches is too much, then I'll just reduce it and tack it down at the back on top of this part where the dart is. So that's how I'm going to hold this down. And the width I'm using here, the width of this belt depends on you. You can cut about 4 inches of width, fold it into two this way, make a stitch, and then flip it inside out. You can make yours bigger, you can make yours smaller. So after that, now you see what mine looks like. So now we'll move over to the bottom part of the peplum, and the bottom part of the peplum is supposed to be 2 steps, right? One is the longer one, the one underneath is longer, and then there's a shorter one on top of it, right? What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and measure around your waist. So I'm working with 36 waist, so you're going to times that by 2, and that will be the width of your flay, width of the what you're going to use for the gather. Or you can times it by 1.5 if your fabric is not that much, but I'm using like times about times 1.5 is what I'm using here. So 32 times 1.5 is going to give you the length, that's the width that you're going to use together and come together at the waist of your peplum. Or if you have enough fabric, use times 2 or times 2.5. It depends on you. And then the length of my peplum here, it also depends on you, the length you want to use. So as you can see, I've already gone ahead and folded the edge of mine, and then the length I'm working with is about so I want the first layer, which is the shorter one, to be, let's say, 8 inches when I'm done. So I need about, I'm going to add 1.5 to that. So that's going to be, when cutting it, you add 1.5 to it, because you need that 1 inch to fold it and half an inch to join it to the bottom of this peplum. So as you can see, I've already folded mine, so I have 8 inches left. But before that, I had about 9 inches before. So now the same thing for the longer one. I've also gone ahead and folded it, and then I had about 11. I have 11 inches now, but before, initially I had 12 inches. So I've used 1 inch to fold the ends. So all I have to do now is to just take these two together this way and put it inside of each other. Find the So guys, you see the way it is now, one is on top of the other. So like that, I'm going to take the center side. You see the end here, this is the end. One of mine is longer than the other two. I had excess for the top part, but that doesn't matter. I'm still going to gather all of them together. So the center here is going to meet the center of this part of the top, and then I'm going to gather everything. This seam here, this opening here, all of them is going to fall back at this center back here, and then when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and put in a zip here, and that will be it. This is it here. I finished mine, so you see what it looks like, and then at the back you see the zip here. So that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.